Okay, good evening and welcome to Bobzee 13. If you want to make sure audio's playing back right tonight and you can hear me okay, bear with me 1 second. I'll keep you listening to the intro. I'll be back in a sec. Yeah, I will be sharing a link very soon, actually. I want to start by saying hello to Chris Brown Project and Jokerman, who are in the live chat. I just want to check we're also playing properly and everything's running as it should. Where are we? Yeah, I'm doing it through StreamYard, so please bear with me if we have any kind of hiccups or not so great occurrences. I'm just going to check my audio 1 second. Our greetings to Mudlark Digging at the Thames. Really good to see you tonight in the chat. Yeah, it seems we are playing back smoothly at the moment. Yeah, so I'll start by saying tonight's show not quite as prepped as some of the previous ones. As I said, I'm inviting you guys to join the stream if you so wish. I'll put a link up in a minute and I'll put one in the live chat. Actually, let me do that now, or at least prime it and ready to go. It looks like we've certainly got Jokerman ready to come on, so I'll be adding him to the show in a second. And let me just put out our link. Right, how do we invite? Okay, well, I can certainly put a banner on. Yeah, you'll have to forgive me. I am not as... Oh, that's not the one we want. I'm not as familiar with StreamYard as I am with open broadcast software, so apologies if it's been a bit of a shocker or if we get any issues go wrong. Yeah, tonight, tinyurl.com/live. No, that's not right. That is not correct. Hang on. It is, if you want to come on tonight, the link you need to join is tinyurl.com/BOBZEE hour. I'm pretty sure that's correct. 13. Bobzee hour 1-3. I'm going to have to check this out for myself. Apologies. Mudlark, any chance you want to join the stream tonight and say hello? I know you've been a long time. I'm not going to put any pressure on you. Same as anyone who happens to tune in and want to say hello. No pressure on anyone to join tonight. But it'd be really good to speak to some of you guys who I've been seeing in the live chat for a long time. Right, let me just confirm that I've got the address correct. Okay. Right, I'm now going to put a link to tinyurl.com/Bobzee hour 13 or just Bobzee hour. Let me confirm that now. Yeah, it is Bobzee hour 13. Right, yeah, without further ado, we're going to start by introducing our first caller on the stream. He's someone I've certainly mentioned a few times. Okay, Mudlark, you'd rather not. That's totally understood. But I still really appreciate you contributing the time and the information to many of our live streams and many comments that you've shared with us. So thank you for your input nonetheless. Yeah, it's the same for a lot of names that I see in the live chat regularly. And I know a few people, well, we've had a few people join us on what I've had open mics. I used to call them open lines with Bobby Zones, but I changed to open mic, a bit more self-explanatory really as to what that is. Yeah, Chris Brown in the chat. Of course, on Sunday's stream, if you didn't see it, we did finish the show listening to his tune. So, yeah, thank you for sharing that with us. Sundays, I do always like to put on some original music. Mudlark says, you don't want to hear my voice. Your ears might start bleeding. Mudlark, it can't be any worse than mine. How about this? Come on with a completely anonymous name. Of course, I better take you through the actual setup for going on StreamYard. Yeah, let's do that right now. Hang on. I'm going to share my display then, 1 second, and I'll show you how you can, what the situation is. Oh, don't want that. You put in tinyurl.com/Bobzee hour 13. Enter. You can see what I'm doing. Yeah, you'll get to this point where you are asked to allow access to your microphone and camera. You do unfortunately have to do that, but you can absolutely switch off your camera at any point. I will not. In fact, I do request that no one shares their face, you know. So put anything I want. Crepe face, for example. You couldn't do any worse than me. Oh, now we're going to get an echo. Right. You will not be put into this. Yeah. Where are the settings? Sorry, I'm getting an echo now. There should be a way to hide your camera. Okay. Hit these, put stop mic and camera. Is that right? Huh, that's odd. Okay, you should have something at the bottom saying start camera, stop camera. That's what you're looking for, I believe. Oh, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, if anyone wants to try that. On that note, of course, we have had Jokerman, who is in the what they call it, the studio, the back room, backstage or something. So I'm going to add him to the stream right now. Greetings, Jokerman.
Greetings, brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chris.
Oh, thank you. Most people probably know me slightly better as Bobby, but yeah, there's no secret. My first name's Chris, so you're welcome to share that.
And there's 2 Chris's in my life.
Oh, right. Was that me jumping the gun a bit, was it?
Well, I sometimes have a deeper meaning to what I say. Not everybody picks it up.
Okay, yeah, definitely shout out to Chris Brown, 100%. And Mudlark, and yourself.
Yeah, hey, Muddy. And who?
Mudlark digging up the Thames.
Yeah, Muddy Waters.
Yeah, that
Muddy
suggests that we don't want to hear their voice, but do they really think it's going to be any worse than my droning, dry?
I squeal and all sorts.
Yeah, so you don't need to feel self-conscious, Mudlark, but I'm not going to absolutely pressure anyone to share anything with us that they don't want to. So, yeah, definitely a wonderful subscriber, Mudlark's been, as have you, Jokerman. Of course, you're a name that, well, a slightly different name that I call out on every video because you are a supporter of mine on Patreon. So, you know, thanks.
And you support me too.
Yeah. Yeah, we are. Of course, I am happily enjoying helping you put some content up on the things. Do you want to take a look at your channel, or?
It's all right, man. Maybe later on.
Okay.
But I just want to say, Bobby, when I came across your channel, I was hooked. There's a drought in the sort of stuff you look into.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate what you put out.
Oh well, that's good. Yeah, I made a video once saying the truth is not popular, and that is 100%. I'd probably say this every stream, but I can totally understand why people don't want to watch some of the content I cover. I wouldn't personally want to watch it either, but for
You
the
need a
fact that I,
strong stomach. Yeah. Sorry for
yeah,
interrupting.
no, but for the fact I know they're completely full of, if so many other people weren't affected by it, if it was just a celebrity or a reality TV star faking their pregnancy and no one really cared, but people do actually look up to these people as idols. I think they want us to
Yeah.
idolize them.
There was to worship them.
Yeah, I've got to say, I've fallen victim to it when I was a kid, a stupid kid.
Oh, I used to be obsessed with Ozzy Osbourne.
Yep.
And
Okay.
like the dark powers that be, they use it against me. They use them against me. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it is it's shocking. The things, if you look at these celebrities, let's take it on face value that what they're doing, say Ozzy Osbourne is 24/7 into heavy, class A drugs and then, other very, what was that guy from, not Smashing Pumpkins, the guy who hung himself.
I think that was fake. There was two of them. There was the guy out of Lincoln Park and the guy out of Soundgarden.
It was
They were
both actually.
they
Yeah.
were both friends, and I heard they were looking into pedophile rings, and they were going to make a documentary on it.
Okay, good to hear.
And the Lincoln Park singer, I think, Podesta's forgotten son. They both look the spit of each other.
Okay,
You know,
we could
you know Podesta, the guy who was like Hillary Clinton's advisor.
Yes, yep, I've heard of Podesta. Was he linked to that pizza parlor?
I think so. Yeah.
Apparently, that's a subject that gets you absolutely censored if you mention it. But so we won't go too well.
Oops.
I did say actually to you that a lot of my open lines, these open mic episodes, have been taken down.
Right.
And that's
Well, let's have some fun anyway. I suppose
yeah.
some people get to hear it.
On some occasions, they'll give me they'll just say, look, we know you're ignorant. We know you're stupid. You probably didn't even know you were violating our terms. So we're not going to give you a strike. Other times it's 2 more of these in a month or 1 more in 90 days and your channel's gone. So it's...
Yeah, you got to be careful. You don't know who you're letting on, do you?
No. Yeah, so with that in mind, we'll we'll maybe try and speak in riddles, which is we'll do our best to not be overly obvious, but yeah.
Right. Well, I'm just about to spark up a stogie. It's going to last
Okay.
more than an hour, so it'll last the show. But I usually smoke another thing.
Yeah.
But today I'm going to treat myself because I love the show, and to be honest, it's a treat.
Oh, well, if that's how you want to celebrate, yeah, go for it. Have fun. Yeah, who were the two people you said? It was the Soundgarden guy. I'm gonna share my screen and we'll look if you reckon they look like brothers. I always like doing a bit of a comparison.
Chris Cornell, and what's the Linkin Park singer guy called again? I forget his name all the time.
Okay. Oh, Chris. Yep, I'll have a look in a minute. I know people that take these stories to be 100% accurate. They wouldn't for 1 second think that. Right. Chris Cornell, and wasn't he the one who was photographed with a noose around his neck?
Probably, yeah. I think so. He wrote a song about suicide as well.
Yeah, same as Kurt Cobain as well. He was another one who...
I think they killed him off. I think it was Britney Love, not Britney Love. Her Out of Hole.
Oh,
What's her name? His
Courtney Love.
wife, Courtney
Cour-
Love, and Dave Grohl. They had a pact, and that's why the Foo Fighters did so well afterwards. When I
Okay.
first saw the Foo Fighters, I saw them at Ozfest, the first Ozfest in the 90s when I was a teenager, yeah. And it was the first tour of the Foo Fighters, and everybody hated them.
Yeah.
So
That was.
I think they've really been promoted in the music industry. They really sold out, and I think they really did sacrifice that drummer, Taylor Hawkins.
I didn't know he had died, actually.
He died a few months ago. He had about 5 different drugs in his body, but he was only in his 50s. But he was a really good drummer. So was Dave Grohl, but they'd swap over singing and playing guitar and stuff. And I don't think he wanted to share the limelight. Also, they had a Foo Fighters movie come out called Studio 666.
Oh, okay.
And it's about recording an album in a haunted house, and Dave Grohl gets possessed and kills off all the members of the band and starts a solo career.
Yeah. When I think of Foo Fighters, I picture them at the Apple, I think it was the iPhone launch or something, doing a song, and it just makes me think, compared to what they were, compared to how he was, how I seen Dave Grohl again, Nirvana. That was all links with, like, he was meant to be a heroin addict, wasn't he, Kurt Cobain? I believe.
Yeah, but unless you stop taking heroin, it's pretty harmless. It's only going to give you diarrhea unless it's mixed with something. When you go dry off, when you go cold turkey on heroin, it's the only way to really get off it. You don't want to go on methadone.
Okay.
But
By the way, obviously this isn't
on
medical
heroin,
advice, is that?
No, but if this is what happens when people overdose, when they've stopped and then they decide to go back onto heroin, their tolerance is very, very low, and they end up taking too much, and that's what causes them to overdose. They need to build up a tolerance.
Do you know,
if you're on heroin every day, it's fine, but if you're trying to get off it, kick it, because it's awful. Yeah.
Obviously, not medical advice, can't stress that enough. But I will say I did hear someone told me about, I can't remember what it was. You know, when they did all these legal highs, they made illegal a load of what they were referring to as legal, vile stuff by the looks
monkey
of the
dust. Have you heard of monkey dust?
No, I haven't. All I'll say, because
it's bath salts, but they keep changing the formula, and it's practically crack cocaine.
Oh,
and it's more addictive than crack cocaine, but it lasts longer and it's cheaper, and you can buy it online supposedly.
Yeah,
also because they keep changing the formula.
Yeah,
and also
that's all they got to do, and it stay one step ahead.
I live in Manchester. Yeah, the spice is shocking. And with the homeless people, you see them in the streets, they look dead. I had to once call the ambulance because I thought a guy was dead in the street.
Oh yeah,
and
well,
I know how they make it now. I know they make it. They don't make it. They just buy it in the 24-hour garage.
Isn't it something they use for storing, or transportation? I heard they pack cars with it or something.
No, it's for allied cleaner, allied polish or whatever for your car wheels.
Right.
Yeah, it's that stuff. They just
spray it on. So there is linked to.
They spray it on paper. They spray it on marshmallow buds. They spray it on weed. It's messed up.
Well, when they made that stuff illegal, I heard that they also took with it a load of what you might consider quite useful products. I can't remember what it was.
It's not illegal though. It's not illegal if you can still buy it in the shop.
But apparently there was a bean or a leaf or a plant that was very good for people coming off of like opiates, and I can't remember what it was called now.
Ibogaine.
It was basically a coffee. It was belonged to the coffee family, and apparently people were saying it took away like 95% of any withdrawals and stuff, and that got made illegal when they, quite rightly made things like spice illegal, because that's vile crap.
Well, ibogaine is really good. It's from Africa, yeah. The messed up thing is, when people take it, they're on heroin. It's supposed to be a really bad trip, but people see the dead relatives, and I know you're not supposed to do that in the Bible, and I don't recommend you do it. But
Yeah.
for people that aren't believers, they see the dead relatives, and the dead relatives, show their concern to them about the heroin, and they don't have any withdrawals on it or anything, but it's a pretty nasty trip for about 12 hours.
Okay.
It's like a route.
Yeah. I do wonder. Yeah. So also my point: these celebrities that not only kill themselves, they're also such influential people. And to think young kids, like I said, myself, 15 years old, not got a clue about the world, and being drawn to these people who give such terrible advice on how to live your life is so tragic that people are sucked in
That's
by
what
it.
they want. They want to send you to hell.
Yeah. And again, when I was 15, I remember that film Trainspotting, and
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor basically makes this speech about how wonderful and brilliant being on heroin is.
Yeah,
Basically,
he
really
glorifies it.
selling it to people. Yeah, absolutely glorifying it. That is what they. That is
Just
the
think how
message.
many
Yeah.
people that movie got onto heroin. Got people onto heroin.
Yeah, and yeah, it's kind of disgusting. And then you look, well, and everywhere you look on mainstream, they seem to be glamorizing something or another.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to say hello to Susan Byrne, by the way, in the chat.
Hi, Susan.
Yeah, and if Susan, I haven't put a link in the chat yet. Let me do that now. If anyone else wants to tune in. Apologies for my type in a second. Should have done this at the start of the stream. I didn't get to prepare very well today, so I appreciate you coming on.
Well, whilst you do that, can I quickly tell people about what I did today?
Yeah, most certainly.
I got some tattoos. I got more tattoos. I'm 41. I've never had a tattoo in my life, and I've got 7 tattoos now in 2 weeks. And I got help on my knee, and it's bleeding really bad. I need help.
That reminds me of, I'm not going to discuss people, but I could show them a picture of a middle finger that is healing, but it looks absolutely atrocious.
Well, I told you how to sort that out. So.
Yeah, you did. I doused it because you did give me. I doused it in TCP, and it just started bleeding. I don't know whether the skin was so weak.
Yeah, that's crap stuff, that, man. The stuff I recommend is very good.
Well, it was good to actually get some of the gunk. I'm not going to discuss people. No, what would tell us?
Yeah, let's change the subject. Let's talk about something cool. Philippians 4:8. Focus on the good stuff.
Yeah, most certainly. Is that what you got tattooed on your?
I will be getting it tattooed. I'm going to get Bible verses tattooed on my ribs.
Yeah.
That I identify with.
Were you screaming much?
No, I didn't make any noise. My knees were the worst ones. Most of the other ones didn't really hurt at all, but it was pretty quick, so it didn't last that long, and the pain just gets less and less, and it doesn't hurt anymore.
Yeah, I was on holiday with my now wife, and we were in. Her family very kindly took me away. Went not long after we first met, and yeah, there was a tattoo shop, and I got her name tattooed at the top of my arm. But and so yeah, I mean, considering we were quite early on, I thought I would yeah, show my commitment, as it were. Mudlark thinks Trainspotting was crap. Again, Trainspotting, I remember getting the book off the shelf, reading the back, all the raving reviews that all the journalists and
I got a funny story about Trainspotting.
Yeah, okay.
You know Begsby, the hard ass who goes around smashing glasses on his head and stuff.
Yes, and in the sequel, because I did read Trainspotting and I read the sequel Porno, which I believe they also made into a film. Yeah. He gets run over by a car, but yeah, Karen.
My friend at college, dad was a bouncer and a concierge, and he beat him up once in a gym. He had a fight and he battered him.
Oh, with the actor, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They can be a bit smug, and some people can't tolerate that. You know, they're a bit of themselves. Some celebrities, aren't they? They need to
Yeah.
humble themselves.
Yeah. Susan's asking why. I'm guessing she's asking me to ask you why you got tattoos. Is that right, Susan? She said, please ask him why.
Why?
Yeah.
Because all my life I've wanted tattoos, but I've never wanted something to last forever. I've never wanted something that I'd change my mind on. So over the years, I've been having lots and lots of ideas for tattoos, but also I speak to God, and God speaks to me. We have a very close relationship, me and God. And
Beautiful.
what I'm having tattooed on me are things that God has told me. So it's a reminder. It's a bit like Memento, you know, that movie where he was tattooing himself because he had amnesia and he
No, I've
couldn't
not seen
remember
that.
every
No.
time he went to sleep. It's all recorded backwards. It's got her out of the Matrix in it, Trinity. It came out just after the Matrix.
Okay.
Yeah, and I asked God if it was all right, and he said, yeah. So I'm doing it, and I don't regret it. You know, I really like my tattoos. I'm just
Good.
getting writing. I'm not getting any like showing off designs. It's more of a statement than an aesthetic thing.
Okay.
So I love you on my left knee, help on my right. I got the Clash lyrics off Rock the Casbah. Sharia don't like it on my foot. I've got blessed on the back of my neck and
Yep.
a cross just underneath that, a little one. And I've also got something on my arm that I will not disclose until a later date.
Fair enough. Thanks to Chris Brown for saying Chester Bennington. He who is the guy from Lincoln Park, I'm guessing.
Yep.
You reckon he's a bit of a dead ringer for Chris Cornell, yeah?
No, not Chris
No.
Cornell. Pelosi.
Who's that? Sorry.
He was Hillary Clinton's advisor when she was running for office.
Okay. He looks like Chris Cornell, or he looks like Chester.
Chester. I think that's his dad.
I know the guy. He's been.
Podesta.
I saw a headline saying he was the most despised person
He's
in
awful.
America or something.
He's awful.
Is it
He was supposedly staying a few hotels down from when Madeleine McCann disappeared with his brother.
Okay. Yeah, I do remember hearing a link to that name. Sorry, what's the guy's name again?
Pelosi.
Pelosi.
No, not Pelosi. That's the woman.
Yeah.
What's his name now? Podesta.
That's it.
Sorry.
Podesta. Probably just like Jimmy Savile, linked with all sorts of freak shows.
Well, Savile used to smoke a cigar, but he used to have it in his mouth all the time. That was his magic wand.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I've seen pictures of Jimmy Savile wearing a wizard's robe or a warlock robe or whatever with all weird designs on it and shit like that. Sorry for swearing. He was a scumbag. He was buried at a 95-degree angle. He's burning in hell right now. Don't think he got away with anything.
No. Yeah. I mean, I always say I don't doubt for a minute that the celebs are this, that scummy, horrible, nasty thing goes on. But they certainly changed their story on Jimmy pretty quickly, didn't they?
And Epstein were both trummy with the Royals. We did that on the quiz last week, didn't we? On Sunday.
Yeah, we did. You're right. Who hasn't been connected to that family? Yeah, another one. The guy out Chris Cornell looks, in my opinion, a dead ringer for Dave Grohl.
You reckon?
Yeah, they're identical.
I don't see it.
Okay. Well, they've certainly got the same when I say identical, same hairstyles and beard.
Well, you
Same.
can what they both got pictures without the beards.
Okay.
Maybe not Chris Cornell, but the old
We've got
not the old Nirvana stuff. He never had a beard.
Chris Cornell. He was what do you call it? He was
Soundgarden
Soundgarden. Yeah.
and Temple of the Dog.
Okay. Yeah, this is the
Which was
nearest
a
one I've come
tribute to Mother Love Bone, which was the first grunge album, which was a really good album, but the lead singer died like practically straight after the album.
Oh, nasty.
So Eddie Vedder and Chris Cornell released Temple of the Dog, which was like a dedication to that, and then they were split off and did Soundgarden and Pearl Jam.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of some of, not music I'm massively familiar with. Dave Grohl in the 90s, I want to see compared to Chris Cornell. I don't know how close they are in age. But I agree also, Chester does have a very weird, almost like he could be his son. They're very similar, Pedestrian Bennington. Also looks a bit like the guy out of REM in a kind of weird way.
Yeah, they're all related. These people have been trying to run the show for a long, long time. They don't like to spread the seeds, if you know what I mean. They keep it all in the in crowd.
Yeah.
I bet they've all got their own special, like Facebook. I bet they've got a Facebook just for celebrities and people that are in the Illuminati and
You know what I reckon they call it?
The octopus.
Yeah. Have a guess what I would say it's called. Rather than Facebook. Earbook. How do I
Airbook.
Ear. EAR book. Because their ears are all absolute freak shows, their ears.
Yeah, those ears, man. What is going on with the ears?
It's see now
that
these
looks
people
kind of normal, that. But it does look a bit like it's been altered. Like
it looks like a realistic hair.
CGI.
It doesn't look in the right place.
Yeah.
It's almost
some
like
of the ears, man, they just don't look normal.
No.
It's like somebody just splattered some like pancake mix on the side of somebody's head or something.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, in some cases, yeah, you're absolutely right. They would get a better job, and they always seem to. This guy hadn't particularly got it, but yeah, the pointy Yoda ears seem to be everywhere. Whether that's yeah, this guy ain't got it too bad, but that's always something that I notice comes out.
I think they like to look different from the public, so that they can look like they can be presented as the attractive ones. That's what I think with all the Transformers.
Yeah,
I think these Decepticons, they want us to lust after them when they're the same, but they're trying this androgyny thing. It's been like that since the Bible days.
Yeah.
Talks about trannies in the Bible.
Oh, plenty.
And it warns you about it.
Constant. It's often saying men shall not wear that what pertains to a woman, and vice versa. Yeah, there is definitely an unrealistic image of what we should aspire to be like, and yeah, it's very very disturbing, I think, and I do feel sorry for anyone that has to go through the misery of enjoying, not enjoying their work, because it's one thing to enjoy a good piece of music, but to get taken in by the stories that we hear about them.
Well, I think music is very dangerous, and I've started my own radio show, and I use music as a weapon. I'm trying to get a message across. My favorite musician of all times was Bob Marley, and I think we need as many Bob Marleys as possible out there. And I think we also need to be ready to stand up for what we stand for. I think a lot of people are ignorant and they're too busy wasting their lives away watching the Netflix and watching the television whilst their
Yeah.
lives are just fading away. Whereas they should be doing something constructive or something that they enjoy, because that stuff's just soul draining.
Yeah.
I went to the cinema the other day, last week. I've never been to the cinema for the past few years since my dad died, but I used to go every week, and it was so boring. Even though the film was really good, I couldn't stand being sat in that dark room with a big screen over me, doing nothing for 2 hours. It was
Yeah.
terrible. Waste of time.
And constant bombardment of, the globe earth at the beginning of every film, for example, and
Oh yeah,
and
that's for a definite, you know.
yeah. What did you
That's
watch
just
out of interest?
John Wick 4,
John John what, sorry?
John Wick, John Wick.
John
It's
Wick.
a
Okay.
it's a Keanu Reeves film. He's like an assassin that turns against this secret society, and they're all trying to kill him.
Yeah, I
But
have seen something.
it's really cool. He's a Sigma male like me. I'm a bit of a John Wick.
Okay. John or Joe Wick, sorry.
John, like
John.
Jonathan.
It was worth watching?
Oh yeah, it's fun watch if you want to watch a film, but if you don't want to watch a film, don't watch a film.
Yeah. This is 20, was it a sequel or something then? Because
It was the fourth one. I think it's the last one though.
oh, there's a whole series of them, is there?
Yeah.
I
It
wonder
just
if we'll
gets
see,
better and better.
I wonder if we'll see any symbolism in
Oh,
any of the
there's loads of secret society stuff going on in it.
yeah. Yeah, a lot of movie covers. I've seen them repeat the same thing, and it seems to be. Hang on, I'll try and find it. I've never watched it. Is it not the Running Games? What's that one? Hunger
It's all that
Games.
one eye symbolism all the time. That's
Yep.
on most of the time on the movies. Why do I call them movies? It's so American. It's films.
This symbol, I've seen that come up with being that very same image being repeated so often, almost like I know that it's meant to be a crow or a dove, but like she's got her wings.
Yeah, she's supposed to be the phoenix, isn't she?
Yeah, it looks like Orion in a way, actually. The constellation of Orion. It's what it reminds me of. I'm sure I saw the same with who's that British actor who was in Pirates of the Caribbean?
Orlando Bloom.
The female, sorry, the girl, woman. Not well,
Okay.
supposedly woman.
Is it Keira Knightley? I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's the one. I'm sure I saw her doing exactly the same pose for one of these films.
That's like the campest film ever. Pirates of the Caribbean.
I've never watched through a whole one. Is it got ships that float in the sky?
I think that's Peter Pan.
Well, yeah, that is Peter Pan. You're right, but I'm sure I saw. It's got
I
demons.
Can't remember. I think I watched a couple of them. I couldn't be bothered with it anymore.
They fight skeletons, don't they, or demons?
Yeah, yeah. Like the Living Dead or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sure Keira Knightley was supposed to doing that exact same thing.
I tell you what horror movie I really like though, and it's sad really because I get a lot of stick for saying I still like this movie, but the Evil Dead trilogy, Ash is such a badass.
Evil Dead is that
demons.
Because there's two or three films with very similar names. There's Night of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, the Evil.
Nah, Evil Dead's like a splatter movie from the 80s.
Is it the one where they find
Bruce Campbell,
the book of in the cellar? Yeah,
yeah, that one.
Okay, and then in the sequel, doesn't it turn into a bit of a joke though?
Yeah, I love it.
A comedy.
The second one's my favorite one. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I certainly saw the first one, and it was. I remember watching it late. Yeah,
he's just a total anti-hero, you know.
Yeah,
but he ends up he wins. even though he has to cut off his hand. And the cool thing about, the Bible, in the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus says, if your hand sins, cut it off.
Yeah.
And his hand got possessed and he chopped it off straight away.
Yeah, I have seen it a few times, that one. I remember quite a few people have recommended it to me. I haven't found the poster of Keira Knightley though, but speaking of movies and subjects around movies, what do you make of the Mandela effect? Do you think that's something that's actually going on or not?
It seems to be harmless, but I recognize it. There's some strange things that I've seen Mandela effect wise.
Yeah.
But maybe not, you never know. We do misremember stuff. But on a global scale or whatever, or on a national scale and specific things, the thing that I find peculiar is they all seem to be harmless. But when it starts happening to the Bible, I'm very, very disturbed by that.
Yeah. Now
it just seems to be the King James, though.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna say that any of those verses haven't specifically been changed, but the first thing would be: is it in the original Hebrew or Greek text?
Well, that's the thing. It's how the phrasing, the sentences, and all sorts. The sound. When it's like it's not Old English, but it sounds Old English. Well, some of the sentences now, the verses just sound completely balmy. The way it's spoken, and I'm not saying it's balmy in the Bible. Sorry, Lord, I didn't mean it like that.
No, sorry.
But I've read the occasional verse that sticks out to me, and I'm like, who wrote that sentence?
Yeah. Yeah. On the subject of films, just seeing all that Keira Knightley stuff. Now, it's interesting that when like people say film titles, it's always it's quite a minor thing. Take Interview with a Vampire or The Vampire.
Yeah.
How many and any films that you might have had on video? Do you know videos apparently have a 25 years guaranteed lifespan?
Well, I took all mine.
Well, that's it. I haven't got any for mine either. But it's interesting that these changes pop up just at the time when actually coming across, say, one of the great Mandela Effect channels is Brian Staveley, and he's covered Back to the Future. And to be able to even get hold of one of those original Back to the Future videos wouldn't be the easiest. But that's not to say, I did notice
the crazy one that's definitely Mandela Effect is the James Bond one with Jaws and his girlfriend with the braces.
Yeah, that is a very strange one. You're right. I remember seeing a clip show like Best of the 80s or some or why this particular 1983 was brilliant, and it showed a clip of James of that exact scene where Jules and the girl meet and she shows her braces, and I remember seeing that. And then it was about 2 weeks later I saw, it was one of Brian's films, no doubt, saying that she never had braces, and it was
weird.
I've
seen both. It's
but I went back to find that film, to find that particular episode that I watched, and couldn't find it on the TV guides or anything. But it was probably maybe 2 to 4 weeks after. So, but no, I definitely she had braces in the clip I saw.
I distinctly remember braces and no braces talking about it in the Mandela Effect around that period of time when I was researching it. I don't look into it anymore.
Yeah, Susan's asking, it says she's asking you to explain Mandela Effect. I'll give a quick overview if anyone's not familiar with it. I'm sure most of you are. It is the apparent change of events, alterations to names, titles, episodes, anything, words in books, which seem to have no record of the previous form can be found in, with the exception of like references to like residue, as I've heard it called. Yeah, that would be my
like for an
explanation.
example, Susan, was it Luke, I am your father?
Yeah.
Did he say that in Star Wars? Do you remember that? Or is it, no, I am your father? I think he says. He actually says. He doesn't say Luke. It's mad. But everybody copies it and says, Luke, I am your father. Lots of mad stuff like that. The reason why they call it the Mandela effect is because back when Mandela was locked up, they said, some people reckon they said Mandela died and they had a funeral and everything.
Yeah.
But then later on, he was alive. The strange thing about the Mandela effect is there's nothing really negative or bad about it. They're all pretty harmless little things, like changes in how a word sounds and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're all, and I've said before, the one thing it reminds me of is 1984, where Winston worked at the Ministry of Truth, and his job was to dispose of. Now, obviously, the Ministry of Truth was the Ministry of Complete Deception, and his job was to completely get rid of any history that would have, any records. Yeah,
I think it's a time machine they're using anyway.
You think?
I think Tesla had a time machine, and somebody's using it to alter history.
See, I'm not so sure about that. Part of me wonders with a lot of it if it's misdirection.
Not a lot of people agree with that.
Well, it's it's as valid as some reasons. I wonder if some of it is deliberate. It's misdirection from the start. It's a film. Take Mirror Mirror on the Wall. Now, I never saw the original Disney film. All I saw were remakes and read it in books, and and perhaps following the original, such a big deal was made about changing it, almost to trick us into believing that we did remember it. I don't know. It's like a magic trick.
Yeah, well, you can't watch movies and films like you did in the past. You have to watch it with an analytical mind and try and break down what message these people are trying to tell you now. You've got to be hyper vigilant because we know it's very evil what they are.
Yeah.
And they're doing something that's really, really hazardous to society.
Yeah. Well, it's always things that you wouldn't generally think to make a note of. Like you said, it seems quite minor and harmless, but could be an example of how history could be changed.
And with television, there's nothing ever been educational on that.
No,
it's a time waster, and to sell your products and put you in an alpha state so you want to buy the adverts.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Right. I'm not sure. I was a bit late starting today. How long have we been streaming for? Let me see. I thought I had a timer somewhere. I'm probably going to wrap up in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Although, I want to see if anyone else wants to pop in before we say bye. We've only had, I say only, I massively appreciate all of the people that have taken the time to comment. Susan, Chris, Brown, and Mudlark in the chat, and yourself, obviously, Jokerman. So thanks to everyone for that. Thanks for you guys. But yeah, if anyone wants to come on, you've got one last chance. I'm going to put the link again in the chat. tinyurl.com/Bobzee hour 13. I've done a few of these open mics, and I don't think I've ever had more than one person show up. That doesn't even appear as a link, sorry. Right, why can't I invite? How do I do that? Edit layout. Invite, got it. Okay, link now in the live chat. That should be a clickable link. And yeah, if anyone wants to, then I will do these again. They're quite occasional. I thought I'd do it tonight because I've done 12 Bobzee hours, 12 hours onto the 13th hour. You know, number 13 can be unlucky. So I thought I would reach out for a bit of support, and thanks for taking up that task, Jokerman.
It's been a pleasure.
It's yeah, I often give your, let people know where they can find your channel. Not least because you're one of the supporters. Actually, I'll do my thanks in one sec. Let me see. Let me go for my little setup. Yeah. So anyone that wants to show appreciation for tonight's stream and you want to hit the like button, please do. Subscribing and sharing is also a huge compliment. And as Jokerman, otherwise known as Midnight Scribbler, does, supports me over on Patreon. There is a link to that on the screen. Also, Linda Mack has been a long time supporter over there. This channel has also been supported by Nathan Oakley and Midnight Scribbler. So thanks also to them for their help, and to everyone who even takes the time to tune in. How's your channel getting on, Jokerman? Are you happy with the progress, or?
It's gone to a standstill on views now. I need to get another video out, but all in God's time, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about the next video, though. It just seems to be getting better and better. We're just refining it. I'm buzzing. I'm really buzzing about it.
Yeah, I do find YouTube videos can be like a needle in a haystack. Yes, every so often you'll maybe get one that appeals to a lot of people, or someone will share it.
But I'm trying to keep under the radar at the moment. I'm not putting on hashtags or trying to spread the word too much. I'm trying to target specific people I like first, and then broaden it from there. But with my videos, I want people to re-upload my videos and stick it on their own channels. I want the word to get out there, and it's I'm trying to make it enjoyable and entertaining as well.
Yeah, good.
As much as I can, really.
Yeah,
but I want to make the world a better place. If anybody's a superhero in this world, I am.
Yeah, I definitely, cannot disagree with that. You've certainly a superstar as far as this channel's concerned. So thank you. All right.
Cheers.
Thanks for your support, and to anyone who takes the time to tune in tonight. I guess we're gonna wrap up in let's see, a few more minutes. Anything else? My schedule. Let me just let people know when we'll be back on again. I've got at the minute, it says I'm on 3 times a week. That doesn't. Oh, let me move that banner at the bottom. It says I'm on Tuesdays. That's oh, hang on. That's hit and miss, that one. I don't always make it to Tuesdays, but I'll certainly always do Sundays, which will be the next one, 10 p.m.
Yeah, it was my fault, folks, on Tuesday. I kept him busy.
Yeah, I was going to say, who's been making those brilliant thumbnails for you? But bit of I do hope that people check out your channel, because it is a good listen. It's real interesting, and a good bit of entertainment. If you the music's always good.
Thanks, bro.
What YouTube let you put up, at least, anyway?
Well, you're helping me out with that, aren't you?
Yeah. Chris says good night. Cheers for tuning in. I definitely recommend checking out Chris's channel also. Where are we? We'll have a quick glance at that. Someone I met through yourself. Some real good music on there. So thanks for tuning in tonight, Chris. And and yourself, Jokerman. How long have we been going? I don't want to shut down too early, because I try and do an hour. Any final messages?
God bless. I love you all.
That's beautiful. It's perfect. Yeah. Right. So I'm certainly going to be back Sunday night, and I will do another call in at some point, Joker. I'm always happy to do a bit of collabing with anyone, particularly yourself.
I'm definitely up for that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I always say Thursday tomorrow, the start of the Sabbath day, day of rest. Something I can say I can't underemphasize how much benefit I get just from taking that day of rest. It is seriously an absolute relief, and I recommend anyone else to try it. But I hope everyone, whether they do or not, has a great weekend. You doing much of yours, Midnight, or shouldn't I ask? Actually, no, you don't have to reveal any personal. You getting any more tattoos or?
Not for another month. I'm pretty skinned at the moment. They're expensive.
Oh, letting you let yourself heal, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I hope the one stops bleeding. By the way. All right. I'm tempted to start grossing people out and talk about my finger, but I'm not because no one really wants to hear that, do they? But all I can say, if you ever get a whitlow, apparently that's what someone told me it's called. I shouldn't say let your body take care of it because it knows what it's doing. Because to look at mine now, it would look like no way, but it is healing, and I
Well,
thank God for it.
that philosopher's stone I was telling you about,
Yep.
it's a purifier. It'll get rid of all the gunk, man. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. On that note, is it if people have been camping, for example, and they've tried boiling, rainwater or river water, is that the sort of thing they might have come across, or is that something different?
No, that's different.
That's okay. It's not what I thought it was then. I think yeah. Okay. Check out your channel to hear about the Philosopher's Stone. Are we saying?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Do you mention it on any of your stream
Not
vids? Yeah.
yet. I think I might have briefly mentioned it on the new one, but I haven't really got to it yet. I just kind of jump from topic to topic in between songs.
Yeah, fair enough. Susan feels my pain. You've had one once. Yeah, it was nasty. It was swelling and everything. And I just after yesterday or so, I just kept whacking it against things. It was horrible. And then I'm not going there. I'm not going to disgust everyone, but yeah, thank you for your sympathy, Susan. And yeah, thanks for joining us, Jokerman. All right.
Saltfinger.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I've got that all right. But I do predict, I could be wrong. I predict by this Sunday, I might give you an update. I think it was the last Sunday. Last Thursday I showed a picture of it. I'm predicting by Thursday it'll all be famous last words. I'm not going to tempt fate, so I'm not even saying it. Or else, yeah. Okay. Have a great weekend, Jokerman. I'm going to be in touch.
You
all right?
too, man. Love you, man. I'll be in touch.
You too. And thanks. Love everyone who's subscribed, tuned in, clicking thumbs up buttons, or just taking the time to listen. All right, I'm going to play out now with our outro video. All right, take care, Jokerman. All right. Good night.